New York. When you think of quintessential preteen movies, you likely don't imagine a cozy marriage dramedy starring Alan Alda and Carol Burnett. But growing up, The Four Seasons was a formative touchstone for a young Tina Fey, who worshipped at the altar of MASH and The Carol Burnett Show. I was like, they're married. It was basically my version of Twilight fan fiction, says Fey, 54, who has now reimagined the 1981 film as a Netflix series streaming May 1st. Also, at that time, there was something about it that defined for me, oh, that's what grown-up life should and will be like, caring, intelligent people who wear sweaters and walk around in the fall. That's goals, adds actress Erika Henningsen, 32, reuniting with Fey after Broadway's Mean Girls and Peacock's Girls 5 Eva. And we did that, we really wore sweaters and walked around. Tina Fey gets to flex a new muscle with dramatic, 4 seasons ago created with Lang Fisher, Never Have I Ever, and Tracy Wigfield. Great news, The Four Seasons follows 3 sets of couples, Kate Fey and Jack Will Forte, Nick, Steve Carell and Ann Carey, Kenny Silver and Danny Coleman Domingo and Claude Marco Calvani, as they navigate children, health, divorce and marital frustrations. Like the movie, the 8-episode series is set over 1 year and 4 seasonal vacations. The show was an exercise in restraint for the razor-sharp Fey, who spent 9 seasons as a writer and cast member on NBC's Saturday Night Live, and went on to make offbeat, joke-dense comedies, 30 Rock, and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. It was like, okay, so we're not going to end this on a joke. These people are just going to have their feelings and the scene's going to end. Fey quips, but anecdotally, people seem to appreciate it. Sometimes, when there's 10,000 jokes, it can inhibit you from actually caring about the story. The series follows many of the same beats as the film while giving added depth to characters such as the bubbly, outgoing Ginny Henningsen, whom Nick starts dating after leaving Anne. The close-knit pals initially rebuff her as the younger, other woman, but come to discover someone who is patient, empathetic and right for Nick at that stage in his life. She's a disruption to the friend group, but not an antagonist, Henningsen says. Between Ginny and Anne, you're given 2 compelling, interesting partners for Nick. The goal is that you walk away loving both these women. The show's candid, droll observations will be recognizable to anyone who's been in a long-term partnership. Many of us in the writer's room have known each other for 20 years, so everyone was very generous about sharing specifics of their relationships, says Fey, who has 2 daughters, Alice, 19, and Penelope, 13, with composer husband Jeff Richmond. 4 Seasons proved cathartic for the 9-time Emmy winner, who filmed the project last fall, mere months after she lost her mom, Jean, and Alice went off to college. It definitely kept me in the world, because I could have easily kept more and more in my house, Fey says. There are certainly themes and topics in this that were a little close to the bone, and it has been good for me to re-enter the world. The series also resonated with Henningsen, who in 2023 married her Mean Girls co-star Kyle Seelig. Both actors are back on Broadway this spring, she in Bobby Darin bio musical, Just in Time, and he in the Stephen Sondheim review, Old Friends. During filming, I was soaking up life experience through this cast, just hearing them talk about how they've maneuvered their incredible careers, remained very present parents, and are still with their spouses, Henningsen says. I would come home and tell my husband, I'm working with people who are doing it the way I want to do it. Fey and Henningsen met in 2017 in a sweaty audition room for the Mean Girls musical, in which Henningsen played brainy new kid Katie Heron. I remember Erika was very clearly a great choice from the moment she came in, Fey recalls. She has this intelligent, wholesome quality to her, which worked for Ginny, too. Henningsen always appreciated the way that Fey would ask for her feedback throughout the show's inception, and the two soon became good friends. They fondly remember their post-pandemic hangs, when Fey's family rented a house outside New York and invited Henningsen and her husband to come barbecue by the pool. Penelope made me act in a music video. Jeff had gotten really into meats, Henningsen says with a laugh. You really make everybody feel right at home. Through the years, just seeing the way you take care of your deep-rooted friendships, it's not surprising that you wanted to work on The Four Seasons. Fey has long kept a close circle of collaborators, beginning with her SNL days. The women there were so strong, she says. We were, in some ways, raising each other. Fisher and Wigfield also wrote for 30 Rock, as they were starting out. It was huge for me to see her be a mom and running the show, Wigfield says. Now, I'm happy to say there are lots of women who do it all, but it didn't seem possible before her. Forte SNL and Carell Date Night both worked with Faye previously, and much of this show's crew came from her past TV projects. She'll next reunite with 30 Rock favorite Tracy Morgan on a potential NBC comedy. When you work with someone who's great and smart and a good person, you want to do that again, Faye says. Why would you want to do it any other way? You've crafted a little family that you carry with you, Henningsen adds. I feel lucky to be one of those people in the Tina Fey, Avengers Assemble, universe. The world is burning,